You're tired for the lunch already? Come on. So today I'm gonna show you some experience that I've been doing at home, and I'm gonna show some crazy ideas so you can start to experiment with. And I'm gonna show machine learning is not that hard than we thought when we see out there on the internet. First of all this content, all the slides, all the demos, all the resources are already on this presentation. It's all online on the last slides. But if you can, please take pictures, publish on Twitter, mention the event, mention myself. This helps us a lot with the working I've been doing here. Well, before we started, I think you should know that I'm not a machine learning engineer. I'm just a curious people who's trying to make something and who's trying to make my life funnier, just to show that working as a software developer is not a job, it's a lifestyle, and we can start applying and change our lives. So, machine learning for devs. Who here has played with machine learning? Ooh, just a few of them. Well, you're gonna see a bunch of cool ideas. First, all the resources, how I learned, I got from this book. Charlie Jarrett is a very nice girl. She's been publishing a lot of mad science projects with JavaScript. And this book gave me a lot of ideas, and it breaks a lot of myths for me. First of all, she shows how JavaScript works, where machine learning is applied for us, and how it's not so hard than we thought when it started working. I'm going to speak about TensorFlow.js. TensorFlow.js, for me, is the best framework or library we can use. It's built on top of C++, but because of JavaScript, we can consume it fast on the browsers, on the Node.js, in whatever language or project you have. And with machine learning, you can actually try doing some really cool stuff. So here I'm using the browser. It's 60 frames per second, so it's really fast. And I can use to put some images on my face and get some cool ideas so I can move around. So you can see the image right there is where I recognize the face, and then I can plot on my face right there. I didn't do this demo, so I have the link for you later too, so you can find like pretty, right? Something nice here you're gonna notice. I don't know if the people in the back is gonna notice, but look at my glasses. It respects my face and put this behind of my glasses. I really love it how it's working behind the scenes. But for us, we are web developers, and this is what I'm trying to show everyone. This is not that chaos that we thought. It's actually, when you're working on the browser, you can just import a library, you can get your library's code there to create a detector, and then you can just send your webcam data. And it's so powerful that returns data for us. So here I'm recognizing faces to create a very cool project I'm gonna show you later. So on this object, we're gonna see a bunch of data and a huge array with all the data. So see, I'm using my hands, and this API is returning the X and Y relative to the screen. So I can see a bunch of them, but my first thing was like, oh my God, it's too much data. What does it mean? When I got to the documentation, you're gonna see this diagram. So the diagram shows exactly how the array is returning data. For me, it was like a breaking change. So let's just check it out. If I want to get the second there. So the second is mapped as the thumb MCP. And if I look at the array, it's exactly the same data and the name of everything. So it's pretty straightforward. The UX of this thing is very pretty. All right, doing this, see the project I was doing. So I was using my hands to mirror everything on the screen. I can recognize gestures and move, scroll up and scroll down, and I can click on elements. See, it's very nice, isn't it? So I can start interacting with this page, and for me, the first thing I noticed here was, oh my God, this is just web APIs. This is not actual machine learning, I would say. I'm just consuming a bunch of things that TensorFlow is returning to me, and for me, it was blowing my mind because TensorFlow provides a bunch of APIs, and you can start using, and actually they have a bunch of examples and demonstrations. But I know the people from the back is wondering now, what about math? Where is the math on this thing? So we don't actually use because we are web developers. Well, Imagine that TensorFlow is returning all the data, right? We have X and Y. But if you want to calculate the distance or make some custom elements or custom interaction, you're going to see a bunch of crazy code like this that I just found on the internet and I couldn't understand a thing. And when I started looking at this, I was like, oh no, I'm going to try learning now machine learning just because I want to learn everything on the scratch. But this is the power of being a web developer, because we like open source, right? So this project is finger pose. Finger pose gets that hand abstraction that I show you and helps you to work and recognize gestures. So I send a pull request, adding 2 hands, and see, this is human readable. You can say, oh, to make like a gun or to make the piece object, I'm gonna map all those objects. And then, for us, in the end, it's just another API. So I have all the API, the gestures I want to make there, and I send to this library. And behind the scenes, we are consuming the TensorFlow.js, we are grabbing all the data, but for web developers, this is gonna be very straightforward. And if I want to get the data, you're gonna see right there, all the pose data, right, that we call how your hand is posing, the score, which is the confidence that the algorithm thought how it's gonna go, and what is the best, or what is the gesture that was located there. Well, this is my first struggle. It's hard to find abstraction like this. So you as web developers could try going to TensorFlow or whatever library and try and make the lives of people easier, right? We can go there, try mapping this, and make more human readable. Still, we are here to talk about a machine learning, right? Oh my God. I'm into the dad jokes too, oh boy. So, machine learning. We are thinking, well, okay, but the machine is not learning anything here, right? We should use it in how we web developers use machine learning. Well, machine learning, for us, we usually use pre-trained modules. I showed you that we have an abstraction to map and to recognize the actions, right? But imagine you want to train your algorithm to say, I won't have anything on machine or on math there. I'm gonna say, this video, when I say this command, it's gonna return all the data I want. If you go to the TensorFlow.js web page, you're gonna see a bunch of projects, a bunch of APIs, and let's see of the toxicity, to map how a text is toxic or not. So we have all how to use, how it's supposed to be classified, and what I like most about TensorFlow, they have demo pages that runs on the browser, and all the data that the API returns. So it's pretty straightforward to start using right away. Okay, let's jump to machine learning, right? What about I want to get those modules there, okay? And I want to extend it. I want to put more behavior and start using on my own web page or my projects and so on. This project I'm gonna show you there, for me was mind-blowing. See, I'm talking about web browser, then there's no Node.js behind the scenes, it's just the browser. This demo I'm gonna show you now, I'm gonna teach the machine how to move in a game just using my face commands. So look how amazing this is. I press training, and I'm showing when I move up, it's just the up. When it's down, and I'm trying to play Pac-Man. This was crazy. So I train everything there, I stop training, and I press play. And see, I was able to play the game just moving my face. This is a demo at the TensorFlow.js web page. Well, I noticed I'm not so good at Pac-Man at the time, but you can see it's working. This opens a lot of things for us to start wondering what kind of interactions or how we can make our users' life better, right? Okay, but you want to go further. You want to avoid using math now. You want to use the power of the TensorFlow.js to make everything on your job. How do you do that? Well, I was doing a project that I was hacking the Duck Hunt project. Have you tried Duck Hunt? It was from Dynavision or Mega Drive that you have a gun and you have to shoot ducks. So I was trying to think, what if I use my phone to move it and to shoot? So here, first of all, I have to teach the machine where I'm moving and when I'm shooting, okay? So I record it, I just press record, I try moving and say, TensorFlow, this is my moving. This is actually the shooting. And then I get a lot of results from my cell phone in this case. So I get the X and Y, acceleration, and so on. In the end, each of those lines is gonna be a JSON, right? So we can get specific data from the JSON here. And for me, the mind-blowing thing is, it doesn't matter the keys, it doesn't matter the values. TensorFlow.js is gonna understand the patterns, and you can just create any object, and it's gonna understand what you're doing. In the end, what they do, we have each line for each what we call label, right? Each movement or what we want to associate with that path. We're going to transform it to tensors, which is another concept on TensorFlow.js, but just think about an array. With all these arrays, I'm going to feed the TensorFlow.js, and TensorFlow.js will understand those patterns and generate the module. So every time we learn about the machine learning module is this final project, the final, I would say, program or files that has the data for you to start using it. So when you go to Node.js or the browser, you have just to load your module, and then you can run your prediction. So imagine, I'm moving now, and I'm sending this data 60 times, 6 FPS per second there on my application, and there I can get the winner, which is shooting on this time. So from this data, I can send an event on WebSockets or even on the browser to see the final result. This is pretty amazing. Well, if you don't want to train your machine all the time, create the same project, map from one format to another, which is sometimes is a hard task, you can go to the Teachable Machine on Google. You can input your videos, your photos, or whatever you want. You can train the module, and you can get the final module. And you can just start loading on your application. So this will make you faster to prototype your applications and to start using right away. Okay. Thank you. We are web developers, and I think, as I was telling you, software development is the way we make our lives, but it's a lifestyle. And we have a bunch of powers on our hand that is way more than just creating CRUD applications, right? We can do a lot of stuff. And when we are using browsers, browsers are powerful. When I was talking to some friend, like I would say old mind friends, they were saying, never, I would never use machine learning on the browser. However, we have web workers, which we can use to create background tasks using threads and avoid breaking the whole main thread on the application. We have web streams to process data on demand as we wish. We have web GPU to make our applications even faster using the best computer in the world, right? The client's computer, not ours. We don't need to expand more in servers. We can use the powerful tool or powerful computer they have. And for those real front-enders, you can use web graphics. You can use 3JS to create powerful games and start making everything. So if you gather most of these keywords on your application, you're gonna see how fast and how better this could be. Okay, something I noticed. I start joining a lot of Telegram groups, and I start asking questions, right? Like for the duck hunt, I was like, now I want to make my game to play by itself. Is it machine learning? Is it AI? How do I do that? And first thing I was like, okay, I should get where the ducks are on the screen. So in those groups, I was like, how do you do that? They said, I have no idea. I'm a machine learning engineer. My job is to input data and to create the final module. I have no idea how to use it. And actually, I have no idea if it's gonna work well sometimes. So something to put in your minds. Data scientists They train the modules and generate the modules, which they said it's the boring part because they don't see in action most of them. And we web developers, we make everything into life, right? We consume this module, we apply on our projects, and we make our UX or developer experience way better. This could apply for web applications, backend applications. The limits right now, it's so high. Well, I was telling you that we have different roles. We have data, and we have web developers or back-end, front-end developers. But what about you that have a background in math or machine learning or this stuff before? If you gather those both concepts. See, this video is about a Brazilian, Ivan. He taught the Google dinosaur to teach. This was really viral. Has anyone seen this before? Oh, nice. He's using Node.js and using a bunch of algorithms behind the scenes. He's reading each pixel on the page to make it work. I would say, when I saw this working, I was like, oh my God, I'm so afraid of it. But see, he taught how to jump, and we taught a lot of good behaviors. When you see some birds there, the machine learned that it's better to keep it down so you never will crash on a bird. For me, it was like, I've never thought about it. So this is really cool to think how the applications will work. If you take a look at this video, you're gonna see he spent like a lot of time training it, and I would say days for the machine learning. So it's crazy. Well, machine learning for me, it's magic. It's the kind of thing that you create an application once, and you start and like, Mom, see this project, how this is working. Everyone says it's so magic. On Jared's book, you can see some interesting ideas where you can, imagine you have a blog post. Some people don't read the blog post, and they start making questions that you're saying like in the middle of your video or a blog post. You could feed a TensorFlow API there with the whole text, and when people start making questions, it will actually respond the user on right below. For me, it was like, oh my God, I can use this. And for us as web developers, we can start making money on this, right? This is the whole point here. Well, if you go to the TensorFlow.js website, you're gonna see a bunch of use cases, very cool use cases that you can fork, start using, start making money, and you're gonna see a bunch of APIs. And I was telling you, we need people. We need more web developers working on this so we can have more abstractions to make everyone's lives easier, so you can go there and start using right away. Okay, maybe I didn't convince at all. Let's see some use cases. I've seen a bunch of these use cases I'm using on my daily life as well. So authentication and authorization is like banks. You're gonna see it's, I would say, the most boring, but it's hard, right? When you use your face, you have to move, you have to smile. Oh my God, I hate this kind of authentication. So you can use it just sending your data, but this is a bit more, I would say, sensitive, because if someone grabs your photo and put front of the webcam, it shouldn't work. So we are touching some sensitive things. We can use the QA and bots. As I was telling you, you can go to a YouTube channel, extract the text or the captions there, send to a blog, or send to your chatbot, and make your life easier. Imagine, for me, I train people, and sometimes I'm receiving the same questions. So sometimes I create a hack, right, the frequently asked questions, just to answer that, and people don't usually read it. So I would have a bot just to respond something that is casual, but it could work. This is, for me, something that I was wondering. Imagine you have a call center which is working only on WhatsApp or Telegram, and we know, right, we are people, and sometimes we don't take coffee or we don't play a lot, and it's hard, we have sentiments. So we could understand what is in the text of the people working with you, and you see, if the sentiment people is going mean to your customer, you could interfere right away, change the whole subject so you won't lose your customer. So this gives a lot of idea, and I imagine if you create some SaaS, we can start making money of this right away. Well, audio to WhatsApp. Who here likes listening to audio on WhatsApp? Nobody, just a few people. I think I hate like when people send me audio. It's not because like I'm listening to some song and I have to press play and stop everything I'm doing just to listen, because I cannot do two things at once. I don't know about you. But there are some bots, and you can start creating your own bot that you can redirect your audio message to the bot, and it's going to translate whenever language you have. So I'm using one paid, but you could create on your house using Google Cloud, Microsoft, AWS. You choose. They have everything that you need to use there. And also, I saw Microsoft doing this. I know it's a whole new world, right? But we can use drones to understand the video. We can run on fabrics and huge industries, take pictures or in real time showing what is an anomaly. So you should change, you should make some support, call someone else. So this gives a lot of idea to practice. And experiments at home. I think this is the best way. I did a project. I was trying to automate my home, but I thought what is over-engineering by doing it. So I was trying to turn the lights on, and instead just pressing the button, I had to take my phone, press the button, and the lights were like, whoa. So I was thinking, what if I could use machine learning to take pictures of my room when it's empty or when it's full of people, and then the light could turn on and turn off automatically. So you can try using it as well. If you want to learn more, I learned a lot from Jason working on Google. He's done this web course, very nice, free on YouTube, solving a lot of possible questions that you might have about machine learning for JavaScript, and he has been doing a lot of demos on this as well. So you can just start clicking and experiment with. Now, I have a challenge for you. Build something. Don't just listen to this talk. Go to your home and start wondering. This, even if it won't make you richer, you could make you happier when working with software development. And when you are happy, you start thinking more, you start being more productive at your own work, right? Nice. So, all this content is already on my website. If you want to go and learn more about JavaScript, Node.js, I'm still learning a lot of stuff, but experiment with is the best way we can improve everything. Well, I did another crazy experiment recreating Node.js, so if you want to follow my ebook, I put some challenges there that you can follow, and you can start experimenting with. All right? Everyone's awake? Woohoo! So, before I finish my talk, we're going to do some tradition here to make people who's at home envy now. I'm going to count on 3, and we're going to make some mess, okay? Are you with me? Are you with me? Oh, nice. So, on 3, we're going to make some noise, okay? So, 1, 2, 3.